are live, baby. It's gonna wait to see a couple people come in. The markets is crazy, guys. Super, super crazy. Let's get a few things pulled up. In the meantime, while I wait on some people to come in, it is indeed on fire. What is going on? All is well for us right now. It's crazy. Bone at $1.11. Big change, guys. Big change. Let me let people know that I am currently live on Twitter. See another one open up. I'm just letting everybody know that I'm live on Twitter, guys, and we're gonna get this party started. Get the sheet pulled up. Almost ready to go. That is true. Kingdom Talk said we haven't hit the major exchanges yet. That is very, very true and something to definitely keep in mind. Like all of this rally that we're seeing right now for Bone is due to the fact that the price of Sheeb is going up. So courtesy of Sheeb, so the stuff to happen for Bone, that still haven't happened yet. So we are still in a good spot, guys. Still in a good spot. Get Bone pulled up. Take a look at the charts. And the volume on Bone in just the last 24 hours, guys, $33 million. Remember, like from past videos of mine when I was saying, like, hey, if we're able to see upwards of hundreds of millions of dollars as far as on the volume on Bone, we should see very, big price swings on the way up. So just imagine with $33 million worth of volume where we're seeing Bone going at right now. It's simply just the demand is outweighing the supply. So until we actually start seeing the liquidity event, like if we see liquidity event, all the bones, I mean a good portion of bone is onto the layer 2, then we add $33 million into the equation again, then this little pump that I'm not even gonna say little, let me not downplay it. Up 32% on the day. So being up 32% would be nothing compared to us having even lower amount of the supply that's currently out. And if we're seeing this on a consistent basis, guys, the price of bone, like I mentioned, $100, $100 for sure. So what's your Beat Money asks, what's your bone prediction? My bone prediction, guys, is over $100. I got a couple of videos outlining why, and everything is based upon like a couple of events happening for bone happening on Shibarium in order for us to see that. Beat Money asks, can bone ever go near Sheeb market cap? The thing is with market cap, I don't too much focus on market cap because the market cap in itself, it could be altered. You know, market cap is just simply, you multiplying what's in circulation, because the circulating supply on bone, that could change. So if that changed, that automatically changed the market cap of it. So if you're saying like, can it reach like a 20 million market cap? It could possibly do, but I'm not even looking at it as far as like with a 20 million market cap, because if we focus more on what's in circulating as far as like how much we could get off of being circulated, then let's say we're able to get 80 million in circulation. You multiply that by the price of $100, then you're looking at only at an $8 billion market cap. So we don't technically need it to match Shiba Inu, but really just the supply, the circulating supply aspect. So hopefully that makes sense, though. But would I love to see it at 20 million? Absolutely, because then that would essentially reverse back to the price. So the equation would just be a little different. Like 20 million market cap divided by what's in circulation would then equal the price. So everything would go back to this circulating supply. I wish I would have bought more than 3,000 bone. Guys, I get it, man. Like, even with some of the other assets that I own, I wish I would have bought more as well, too. We're always going to feel this way during the times that it's pumping. Like, it's within human psychology or behavior. It's hard for us to buy on red candles, and we have to try to trick our brain to be able to say, hey, even though it's down, that's supposed to be the time that we're supposed to be buying a lot more, because now when we're seeing the pump, like even now I'm itching, like, man, maybe I should just try to throw in extra 1,000 or so. And if I do that, then I'm just gonna be breaking like all my trading rules. So unfortunately, I just have to sit on my hands just to be able to watch this, and waiting for red days to be able to accumulate more. So last month, this is a beautiful chart. Just looking at it from the last month. Let me get it pulled up on here. But just a very beautiful chart. Now, these are the areas that I'm super interested in right here. $2. Like $2 bone, above $2 bone, this thing's gonna fly. Drew says bone will be one of those millionaire stories for sure. 1,000%. And I'm gonna make sure I get some of you guys that got into Bone really early, as well as some people, some of the whales that got into Bone that was able to make $1 million. I definitely would love to interview you guys, have you on the channel. Pretty much telling your story. Yeah, Bone and Leash is definitely no joke, guys. I was looking at the price of Leash, and it is killing, guys. And the crazy thing about it, I was like, maybe I should buy some Leash. Like, I don't own that much Leash. That's the goodness, $614. I had the opportunity because I had 10x on one project, and I started buying some Shibarium projects, and I was looking at it on the sideline. And I was like, okay, maybe I should just buy some Leash. I like, I get to it. And this was when it was around like 300 and something bucks. Goodness. $614. So big congrats to everyone who got in on Leash. Because Leash, it could literally fly. And this is why I like this second dairy token that's on Shibarium that's paired with Leash. Because as Leash start to fly, it's gonna fly alongside with it because its LP is linked to Leash. And that's walk on Shibarium. So I'm not sure if you guys saw this play before, but clicked on it. See the main 40,000. See the LP on this doubled right overnight, guys. Like the LP before was somewhere around like 20,000 because it's paired with Leash. It automatically increased the token price, and this token, in my opinion, is gonna do very very well. At one point today, let me take a look. One point today, it was testing at 0.9087. I think this is gonna at least break a zero. And I wonder if you're in the chat, who got in when I first mentioned this token, like right here on day one? Who got into walk on day one? Because this was around 10 zeros, and I made the video. I'm like, hey, I like the narrative behind it due to the fact that its LP, its main LP, is with Leash. Um, and the narrative of it is pretty good. So as long as Leash do well, I believe, like I said, I believe this was gonna do pretty well. And sure enough, like whoever got in on day one at 10 zeros, already up 10x. So this is gonna be another. This could potentially be even 1,000x because there's still more volume to come in unto Shibarium that we still have not seen it yet. And this is just strictly off of price action of Leash, as well as what the community is building behind it as well too. So definitely one to take a look at, especially if you're a Leash if you love Leash. Don't worry about it, says Crypto Marxist said on one of his videos in his comment section that K9 token comes out, he sees a easy 50 to 50 or $5 to $50 bone price. Even goes to say bone will be over 1,000. What do you think? This is the thing with crypto, guys. When it comes to crypto pricing, it, you know, some people would be like, "Oh, it never get to 1,000." I would never say an asset could not get to 1,000 because if one did it before, then Bone in itself, it could potentially do the same as well. Because back in the early days, those people who were calling themselves expert at crypto when I was new, they were saying Dogecoin would never get to a penny. You know, they're like, it's ridiculous. If you look at the market cap of it, it would never. And these were some of the same thing that some people are still spitting out. They'll try to do some calculation, look at the market cap, and be like, nope, it's never gonna do it. And look what happened to Doge. You know, forget a penny. It got all the way what to 70 something cents. So $1,000, it could happen. But just based upon like how I, accumulated my bone, I don't have to wait for 1,000 because my target is just only based upon what I'm trying to get out of bone. So I was buying at 15 cents, but I also should have been buying at 60 cents this year. Shaking my head. Look, as long as you're in, and I get it, we all gonna feel the same way, man. Because I'm telling you, there's so many other projects out there that I was like, yo, I should have gotten in. See, pork is even trending. Like even my old bag of Kishu Inu. I don't know if you guys remember that one, but this was right around the time of Shiba Inu. And yesterday I was like, maybe I should just throw $100 into it just to see. And this is when it was like roughly right around here. I tweeted about it. And next thing you know, boom, you get this big pop up like, yo, I could have easily turned my little $100 into $300 or $200. Yeah, no, it would have been three. But that just shows you like there's so many different opportunities right now within the market. So we could try to capture as much as we can, but it's definitely hard. Now I'm proud of this call, the last live that I did. I'm gonna find that video where I mentioned on Pepe, and I literally caught the top of Pepe. I said, and this is just, and again, this could continue to keep going up higher, but I mentioned during the breakout that Pepe would top out somewhere around 0.508, or at least that's the minimum gain as far as run up that it was going to do. And sure enough, it got to 0.5082 or something like that before it's having this pullback. Because this is the power of a breakout, guys. Now it could still have some consolidation and continue to start flying up even more. Who knows? But predicting it from where it's currently at right now and where it's gonna go, I think I'm pretty proud of calling this live. Nice. Said I got in as soon as you mentioned walk. I put $50 and I do the same every time you mention any project in Shibarium. I usually put 20 to $50 in each. Yeah, that's to me that's the best way to do it because you're literally, you know, putting in good risk reward. $50, $100, $20. Those are, at least for me, like amounts that I could part with. For some people, $50 is just like, hey, I'm just not gonna drink. I'm not gonna go out drinking this weekend. Like to me, that's an easy sacrifice that some people could make, just to be able to gain a lot more. So if you got in $50 right here, your $50, especially at like day one, depending on where you got it at, should be roughly around $500, and that's a pretty good, investment. And now you could legit turn around and do this to 10 other projects. Of course, take your 50 out. For me, I haven't sold anything, due to the fact that I think this could go a lot farther than where it's currently at right now. Like this, at least, because based upon breakout, it should at least eat a zero. I'm on the wrong chart. I'm on the wrong chart. Let me get to the right chart. My bad, guys. There it is. Okay. So right here, yeah. depending on where you got in at, 10x, $50 turn to $500, and it continue to keep going. Your $500 turn into $5,000. So this is why we invest. And even Sharby, Sharby's having a nice breakout. Let's go, Sharby. Same thing with Sharby, was accumulating over here. Um, so let's go. Let's see where Sharby will take us. That that's a good question. Like with Kishu, I just looked at it. I was like, is it still alive? Then I started running a little bit. I was like, maybe I should just slap $100 into it. But unfortunately I didn't. But it's moving. Like all the memes, it actually ate a zero. All the memes are just going up. So let's see, Baby Doge. That should be doing pretty good too. Let me zoom out. Yeah, Baby Doge. Look, it's like all of them are doing pretty good. And this is why I was telling you guys, like 2023 was the year to definitely accumulate. So now, if we're looking for entries in 2024, we're looking for extreme dips on any play. What I mean by that, I'm talking about like you're seeing people who thinking about taking profits. Look at this. This is crazy. This is Floki. Like right now, some people are thinking about taking profits. I mean, definitely not financial advice. I'll never give you guys financial advice. But for me, taking profits before having, that would be like the stupidest thing that anyone could do. That's just my opinion. I mean, I could be totally wrong about it, but just based upon past experience, we haven't even hit the starting phase as far as with the bull run. This is right. All this action that we're seeing right now on Bitcoin is just a bonus. We're currently seeing a bonus play right now on Bitcoin. The real fun is not going to start until maybe 6 months, 6 months after April. So roughly what, October? And it could be even faster because timelines on some of these stuff, it is happening, sooner. But this is when I'm looking to be like, oh my God, this like this can't get any higher. And as soon as I start thinking like that and it starts going higher, then you're gonna know, like, oh my God, we are actually here. I've been watching you all year talking about Bone, and that made me even more bullish on Shiba Inu entirely. Thanks, man. No problem, brother. Do you think 15K was a good investment in 2023? 15K investment into Bone or into what? Shiba Inu. Has it listed on Binance? No, we have not been listed on Binance, and that's the crazy part about it too. Because remember, guys, we're seeing the amount of volume that we're seeing right now. We haven't seen this done before, and I wouldn't say done before, because we gotten close to like 30 something thousand during these run ups right here. So we've seen close to 30. Matter of fact, let's see. Well, we actually did see 30. So 39 million in volume. So we still haven't really seen explosive volume if we're doing the comparison to like how other crypto projects are doing. So let's go to that. So barring, I'm just gonna bar like the top 30. But like 100, 160 million, 339 million, 300 million. Like we have not seen these type of numbers. So once we start seeing these type of numbers, it will easily be above 10. easily. And if we start seeing above 1 billion, then we should be above 100. So in order to see those types of volume, we definitely need a Binance listing as well as a Coinbase listing. I think it's gonna come because Binance just integrated Blast into their system. Now Blast TVL is some like 2 something billion. So it makes sense of why they did the quick integration. If we look at our TVL right now, it's higher. It's definitely higher than before, but it is nowhere near like TVLs of most other chain. So this is actually the highest that our TVL ever been, 1.9 million. So this is why when people are saying like, "Oh my God, I can't wait for K9 to be on, get involved," that's gonna help the TVL. When I say, "Hey, I can't wait for ShibaSwap 2.0 to come out," that's gonna help the TVL because then if they see more money, because the only thing that I could do is just seeing like what's the difference, you know? Because if you look at Blast, TVL, I guess it's not showing the correct one, but their TVL from what was shown was like over 2 billion. So big difference. Big difference. I am living on the moon. Can't tell you my location. I visited the United States. I can say that before. I visited the United States before. Lewis said, "Hey, said how about the leash? That leash, yeah, leash is killing it, man. Killing it. I was talking about leash probably right before you came in here, but leash is killing it. I 100% agree. Um, Said Binance and Coinbase listing can reach $200 easily. 100%. Saying if we add that extra, with all that supply, if we could get the supply, get that L1 supply, drop down over to L2, then this is what they have to be working with. You know, if it's 90 million circulating supply after K9, after ShibaSwap 2.0, then we add listings to it. It's gonna go stupid, man. Because remember, Shiba Inu is over 1 million users or holders of SHIB. Majority of the holders of SHIB that just hold SHIB by itself, pure degens. And I say that in a positive way. So once the price of Bone start having this big parabolic move, they're just gonna come right on over the Bone. And we're actually seeing some wallet movements as well. As far as like the number count of wallets, that's been going up. As you can see here, we've been stuck at like 95,000 holders for like the longest. So it's kind of good to see this goes up. Hopefully we could get to this 100K mark. What's going on, Bob? It would be amazing for Bone to reach $100 by simply being listed on Binance and Coinbase. 100%. That'll definitely make this a lot easier because if it happens, I know a lot of people are going to cash out. And one thing about it, guys, if you have life changing money, you know, life change, I'm talking about that could alter your life, your family's life, be able to get you out of debt, because there's always going to be another play, you know, and I'll just let you guys figure that part out. Hey RA, did you reach your 10K bone target? Yes, I did. Had a couple of good trades, big trades on Shibarium, as well as some NFT projects that I got in early. Was able to cash in on that, so I'm super grateful for that. I think Bone beat play for me. I dumped my X fund and bought Bone last night when I saw Bone at 93 cents. When is 2.0 coming? They still haven't not announced that. I speculated that we might see 1.5 ShibaSwap 1.5, which is like dealing with the migration of the tokens that's on ShibaSwap 1.0. I suspect either this month for 1.5 or next month. And again, that's not an official statement or anything like that. This is just me just giving you guys my guess. Thanks for the live stream. Really appreciate it. Not a problem, man. I'm happy to do it. Like once I start seeing the price pumping the way it was, I was like, look, we gotta get on this live to really turn up, guys. This is like I said, this is amazing. Because so many people thought like it was dead. I'm like, guys, it's not dead. This is normal market behavior. Normal market behavior. Like I've seen this happen time and time again. As long as Bitcoin does well, pretty much the whole market is gonna follow Bitcoin. So 3 out of 4 cryptos, they generally follow the direction of Bitcoin. Now that Bitcoin is heading towards its all-time highs, then this gets a lot of excitement into it. When we still have not even seen like retail investors. Now, some retail investors are starting to wake up because I've gotten a couple of phone calls today. I gotten a couple of texts today from like different people that's not into crypto, but they bought just based upon me talking about it. And they were like, yo, thank you. Thank you for telling me about it because now their account is looking good. So now it's like, oh, crypto might be waking up. So we are currently like in a perfect time because the halving is next month. So we're going to see that supply shock. Right now we're seeing a demand shock. Like there's the demand is just like overwhelming the supply. So then you couple it with a supply shock and might even have increase in demand than the price of Bitcoin. Like I see Bitcoin getting to roughly before like a strong pullback. Um that is if it has a breakout. So this is contingent upon it breaking its all-time highs and holding, not just passing that. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Because if that happens, then we could see Bitcoin in the range of roughly 120 to 140,000. I'm talking about as far as like a first top, because then I could see it re-breaking out again and going even higher. I'm talking about just based upon the initial breakout. So yeah, and the way that I'm calculating this is just from a breakout level. it's 100% up from the breakout level. So it's 67,000. So 67,000 times two. So roughly somewhere between 120, 140. I'll say between that range as far as where Bitcoin is going to cap out. And you could take a look, and really that's just the minimum of where it should get. Last breakout, which was 19,000, we'll say 20,000, it passed 40. Like each time Bitcoin breaks out from its all-time highs, it at least goes 100% or more. I feel like life-changing money for me is about 4 million after tax. I mean, yeah. I mean, $4 million, that's pretty good though. That is, I mean, $4 million, that'll take care of a lot of people. What I'm just simply saying, like, because some people's life saving, I mean not life saving, but life changing is different. So if yours is 4 million, hey, 4 million. But if yours is like 100,000, then go with what's life changing for you, because everybody's situation is different. And I'm only basing, my trade, my exits based upon me. Because for some people, $10, that's like, hey, if it gets to $10, I am chucking deuces, I'm getting out of it. And it's not even, and I'll never say like, oh man, you dumb for selling at 10. Like, no. If 10 is your target, then stick with 10. If 100 your target, stick with 100. If 1,000, then pretty much stick with. So hopefully that makes sense. Do you know what the big announcement was today, March 4th, K9? They had an announcement today. Let me see. Or were they supposed to announce something? Another announcement. Let's keep it up. 4 hours ago. Okay, let's see. Uh, as official development advocate. I'd definitely love to know, exactly what it means. I mean, I would say build crucial infrastructure for DeFi with Sheeb, usher in new development activity for Sheeb Army. Um, I, I know with Buzz. I know Buzz got a lot of connections, especially with ETH Toronto. So hey, this is a pretty nice move. Let's go. Do you think Sheep could hit 0.205 realistically? I think it could reach a penny. But again, there's a lot. It's just the time frame. Like when are you looking for it to hit 0.205? Like, do I think it can hit it? Yeah. But what's the time frame though? I'm almost at 77,000 7,700 now. Almost there. Look, if you're in bone, you are there. Facts. Those listings will make us millionaires. 100%. Because these are going to be all latecomers coming to the party. Especially when we start seeing these listings and they find out, because some people don't know nothing about bone is attached to Shiba Inu. So once they find that out, some people are going to be like, oh, I missed the sheep train, but this bone seemed a little attractive. Let me pounce on it as well. Middle Journey says someone said to me today we haven't been added to Binance because we don't pay for listing. Is that true? That is correct. The team have never paid for any listings. So if we wanted to be listed on a particular platform, that platform would have to go out to the open market or reach out to the team in order for them to get the tokens to be able to be listed. So pretty much following the same model of Shiba Inu, because Shiba Inu never paid for a listing, um, and they're using the same thing for Bone. Mailman 17, thank you for the super chat. He says, glad I kept 72,000 Bone. Now this guy is a whale. Sold about 25K. I've been crying in your comment section. Almost got shaken out. Shout out to you, Mr. Arts. Not a problem, man. Yeah, that's what the markets would do to you guys. Like it would literally try to shake you out. And this is why I say like having strong conviction in a play, like doing the due diligence behind it, seeing like why it makes sense. And that's why for me, like I time based this, because if I was not time basing it, and what I mean by that is like I have an exit window. If it doesn't come, if whatever the price is at that exit window is where I'm gonna get out of Bone at. So if it's at 10 cents, if it's at $100, hopefully not 10 cents, but but you guys get what I'm saying. So that's why, like for me, like I'm not easily shaken out of my position. And the biggest thing that always stick to my mind is my being in ADA Cardano. Like I got shaken out of that, so it happens. That's what I'm saying. Like this is something that happens. I got shaken out 3 months before the Bitcoin halving, and I watched ADA just go, 100x on me with me on the sideline, just like dang. So Random March, my guy, keep up the good work. Will do, my brother. I will do. Hey, bud, is that your Shiboshi NFT? That is. Yep, that is my Shiboshi. 1.5 million after tax for me. Like anything in the millions, I think that's to me. I think that's cool. And based upon my location, $1 million will definitely suffice. Opinion on potential SHIB ETF from Grayscale. If the community pushes it, I think it could be accomplished, because we gotten so much things done as a community already, like from being listed on Binance, being listed on Coinbase, being listed on Robinhood, um, all these different petitions that we started, and we all come together collectively. And I think we could get that part done as well too. A sheep ETF, definitely. Any thoughts on Crypt IQ going on Ethereum chain? Yeah, man, I'm actually disappointed in that. I still hold. I'm still gonna hold it because I think what they're doing is pretty good. They were like one of my biggest Shibarium bag as far as project, but I am very disappointed that they're leaving. I mean, I definitely wish them the best. Um, but yeah, I wish they would have stuck it out to at least after the volume started coming onto Shibarium, because this project, in my opinion, once the volume really come onto Shibarium, it could have easily gotten way up to like, 10, 20 bucks because of the supply of it. It's extremely low, but it's having a nice run up right now. First mentioned it on the channel when it was at like 0.204 or something like that. So hopefully some of you guys got in, because now it's a 10x. This is another 10x. So I'm gonna start making track of like how many 10x's that I've been bringing to this channel because it's been crazy, especially for a lot of these Shibarian plays. Because one thing about it that people are slowly coming around to is seeing just the capabilities of some of these smaller plays on Shibarium. Because I'm telling you, once volume really starts to come in, because we're doing all of this a 10x with last 24 hours they had like $18,000 worth of volume. That is peanuts. So once true volume start to come in onto these projects on like millions of dollars, then you're gonna start hearing those meme stories. I mean, this project's not really a meme, but I'm just for the sake of like meme buyers, they're looking for those straight up moves. You're gonna start hearing stories from people who bought in early on some of these plays, turned $50 to like 50,000, or turned $50 to 500,000. Um, and I think that is gonna happen. And once that happen, then a lot of these plays on there, they're gonna start to skyrocket as well. Will K9 own and stake the same percentage as Lido? Well, it all depends on. I'm hoping, but it all depends on how many people stake into them. Because remember, they're going to be validators. So in order for them to have like the same amount of percentage, is going to require the community going into it and actually staking their tokens to them as delegators, or as them being the validators. Dude, I'm still minting bone from the first day the swapped open. Oh, so you still haven't claimed yours? Okay, nice. Hook said, "Almost quit my job today when Bones set the huge green candle that got us over 100." Hey, we are almost there. I promise you guys, we are almost at that point that we're gonna be able to flick off our boss and be like, "Yo, deuces, man. Like you can have this job." Just got another super chat. Appreciate it, Mailman. Says people just don't understand how it's psychologically warfare. I can't read. On your mental, on your mentality. Watching no utility meme moon and bone was just sleep, and I had 200K fun. Swap for what is pokey. The liquidity was an issue for me. It definitely weighs in on you. Not gonna lie, like, cause I've been there. I've been there, just seeing red candle after red candle, and you probably see a story of somebody who bought a Dookie Inu, and their Dookie Inu went from 0 to 10 million. Like it does mess with your brain. I wonder how that's doing right now. You said Ponky. Is it this one, the one that's on Soul? Oh, I see what you mean. Because the liquidity is only like 120 million. Yeah, so that probably would affect as far as like swapping. Those big listings are coming right away. What's our holders count at on Bone? It's like 95,000. Still at 95,000. Do you think the upcoming ETH upgrade will have an effect on Shibarium? It would help with the gas, um, especially from them rolling up the transaction that's happening on the layer 2 to go up to the layer 1. Hey man, thanks for the live. What would be a good plan for a profit from the Shiba Rock NFT? I think for those, as far as with profit taking, is going to be once the volume starts to come into Shibarium. Because once we have bigger TVL, Let's keep in mind, right now we only have like 1.9 million. So once we start seeing like 300, even $50 million, if we start seeing $50 million worth of TVL, that means there's money within the ecosystem to be able to circulate. So they're going to have to circulate somewhere. So whenever the NFT craze comes back into the market, like it always do, those are going to be the golden opportunity as far as cashing out, just in my opinion. And that was the whole plan behind it too, for the Shiba Rock NFTs. 37 million supply, I think. Yeah, for you're talking about Crypt IQ. So if Bone listed on Binance, we'll be able to go from Bone directly to fiat. Yeah, from there, if you have a Binance account, you could cash it out directly on that exchange. Leash all day. What about bad idea? Bad idea. I still haven't gotten any bad idea, and it's only because the Ethereum. Like I thought they were gonna be on Shibarium. You know when Shibarium was launching. So I'm in the wrong place. So I still like bad idea. I did see them at the first day it was mentioned, and I didn't pull the trigger sadly. And the reason why I pulled the trigger was again due to the Ethereum gas fees. Like I refuse to pay Ethereum these ridiculous gas. So a lot of projects when they're on Ethereum, I'm gonna either use an exchange just to be able to purchase it, and I think that's what I'm gonna end up having to do with a bad idea. Just put going on to like MEXC just to buy it, because it's still bouncing at a nice support area right here. Let me zoom in so you guys can see it. As you can see, like this is nice support. Try to break down, it couldn't. Consolidating, boom, big run up. It, of course, after run ups, you're gonna see people selling, and it eventually settled in right here. Tried to break past this, couldn't do it. Tried it again. It tried it one, two, three, four, five times. It could not break 0.70s 2005. So even getting in right now on bad idea is definitely not a bad idea, because it's so close to a support area, so your risk reward on it is not that bad, because then you have all this potential upside. Let me show you. Like your upside is a lot greater than your downside, just in my opinion. Because now if you look at where it topped off at, from here, roughly 421%. And this is 46% as far as away from your, if you had to cut for a loss. I'm talking about if you're going like full size onto a bad idea, then if it breached below this area, this is when you just have to take a loss. It's 48%, so just keep that in mind. Um, but the upside of it is definitely outweighs the downside of it. So something to keep in mind. Oh, the liquidity in fund was bad. I was trapped for months. Oh, nice. So where were you buying the so where were you buying fund at as far as with the liquidity? Was it on any exchanges, or was it liquidity on that is 1.2 million, and this is on Uniswap. Are inscription on WolfSwap the same as coins on other chains like Chewy and MarshSwap, etc. on Shibarium? They're a form of a coin, but they're not the same. Leash all day. Leash is balling out too. Leash equals 1 Bitcoin. Is Saitama dead? I Saitama was one of those ones that I felt sick about. Like I seen Saitama the first day that it was launched on Coin Market Cap, and I didn't pull the trigger. Like I have a whole bunch of these. Like, oh, I saw this, but I didn't do it. So they got a new contract. So ever since I missed it, I just felt like I was just gonna be buying at a lot higher price, so I never got into it. And sure enough, everybody who did very, very well. So I don't too much follow them. So if the team is still around and you're seeing that they're still active on Twitter or X, like hey, I'm the type like if I see the team is still around, still talking, despite of what's happening in the background, I'm like, I let me throw $50 at it and just see. That's nice though. Where did you get in on Ponky? Cause that is 150. Guess I'll put this on my watch list as well just to see where this could go. Cause it had a nice breakout area right here. And what I really like about this chart is that it's conforming to support and resistance. I love a good chart that conforms nicely to support and resistance because it had this breakout right here. So once it popped, this acts as a, once it's over, resistance, now this resistance acts as a support area. When it came back down, it held this level really nice. It tried to go down once, couldn't do it, tried twice, couldn't do it. Then it created this little higher low. So I'm pretty impressed by it, just strictly based upon the charts. Circulating supply 406, not bad. 466 million. So like when I'm looking at circulating supply of this, the first thing I'm automatically thinking like, okay, can this get to $1? We've seen so many other circulating supply with this, with this type of circulating supply get over $1. So something to look at. I'll definitely keep an eye on this. Mailman again, thank you for the super chat. He said I was swapping from Uniswap, SushiSwap, and Coinbase wallet I bought originally at 40 cents, then DCA all the way down to 12 cents. So maybe I'm in the wrong one then. No, you said you're up. Might be the right. Oh, got in at 2 cents. Gotcha. Okay. I get you. I get you. So Punky, you got in at 2 cents. But yeah, it looks pretty good though. It definitely looks good, especially if it could hold this area of support like it has been. The only thing that I would just caution about it, I wouldn't want to see it go back to the area of support. But the good thing about it, you're right at a you literally bought at the floor of this. Now, definitely not financial advice or anything like that. But if I was in it at that low level, then it's like worth seeing like where this could go. Especially, with everything happening right now in the markets, like pretty much everything is pumping, so what's your honest price prediction for Bone this year? Thanks, bro. My honest price prediction, it's it's contingent on what happens. So my price target is always going to be based upon the events because Bone in itself, just by its name, without any other tangible stuff with it, it's not going to have a huge pump. It will go up because Shiba Inu's going up, but it wouldn't just go up like on its own merit. So if we see at least 50 million TVL as far as how much bone is being taken away from the layer one going on to the layer two, as well as at least two big listings, or even one big listing, then I could see bone, if this happens by the end of the year, at least being over $100, because just the math of it, the math of bone, it makes sense. Thanks again, Mailman, for the super chat. He said, I managed to trade my fund and got 1 million Ponky. Were you able to get out like at a good price though? I know you said the swapping was an issue. And this is the thing, like for fun, I'm currently up on fun. Like my entry on fun is roughly around like 23 cents. So I'm up a little bit. And the reason why my entry is the where it's at, because I got caught by FOMO. Because initially, my entry were, let's see, my entry was like 15, 16 cents. Then during this run up right here, I started just buying because I'm thinking it's going to keep going. But sadly, yeah, this dump. So as long as the team, like I'm just still waiting on the team to just like become active, like with the socials. I'm looking for them to, you know, they've been good as far as like keeping promises of saying like, hey, we're gonna do this, then this does come out. It's just the time frame of it. So hopefully we get to see Unode, because Unode is gonna be a pretty crucial part of fund in itself, going up higher. And what really just makes me super attractive to fund is the circulating supply plus the utility behind it. So I want to see this thing get above $10. What swaps are you planning on using to exit Bone? It would it be whichever one has the most volume at the time? Yes, most volume and most liquidity. Say you get your target for Bone. How target for Bone exit? How much ETH will you try to have in your wallet for gas fees swapping on? So the gas part, it for swapping, it shouldn't be. It's been a while since I actually used like swaps for ETH, but normally it shouldn't. It should just be whatever the transaction is, not how much I'm transferring. And someone could correct me on if I'm wrong about that. I'm not saying go all in. I'm just saying get one leash. Seems obvious. What? Look, I've been saying this for the longest as well too. Like it's getting one leash should definitely be the goal. It just for me, I don't know what's stopping me. Just not. Just to be honest, I don't know what's stopping me because like days like this when leash is really pumping, I'm like, yo, I should have got one leash. I mean, I have some leash, I just that I don't have one leash. All right, this is crazy. What swaps are you planning using to exit? All right, answer that one. How much more Shiba Inu will pump in an upcoming hour? Any idea, please? Shiba Inu. Okay, I know there is like a Shiba Inu as well. Let's take a look at the TA. And remember, all of this is still contingent upon volume. If volume continues, sheesh, this is up 50% on the day. So we're approaching a resistance area. Let's take a look at this. So right here at a resistance. So it's gonna be like a telltale sign of what's gonna happen. Is it gonna reject, start having a pullback, or are we gonna find a new base and start consolidating? One thing about it, like I mentioned before, too, guys. Remember, a lot of people that were stuck in here, some of them sold throughout this last, what, 2 years. So even though these are resistance areas, they're not as strong had it been like maybe a few months after. So if this event was taking place like in April of 2022, then these would have been like super hard resistance area. Because the more time that people are into a crypto asset and they forget about it, they might forget about it, they might have sold, so they're not going to be acting as strong resistance. So it's definitely going to be pretty interesting just to be able to see how she tackles these. I'm out at 80 cents from 41K loss. Woo! But at least you got that back though. So, because not a lot of people could say, hey, I lost 41K, but that's a good question. Um, Question is, when is Crypt IQ migration to layer one scheduled? That part I don't know, guys. If you have any idea, let me know. I'm gonna still leave some of my Crypt IQ. I did sell some, but I am gonna leave some in there for the layer one just to see where it goes. Because at the end of the day, they could be right. More volume may come in on the Ethereum side. If that happens due to the low supply, it could easily get to like $10 or something. So who knows? So that's why I'm just gonna still leave a nice chunk of bag into my Crypt IQ, so that way I could still capitalize on it. Even though I hate Ethereum, but I'm gonna still capitalize on it. Let me not say I hate Ethereum. I hate the Ethereum gas fees. That's what I really hate. Yeah, 100%. Mailman got in at a very good position, like literally at the floor price. That is freaking awesome. Do you think K9 Finance will be a 10x in the future? What's the starting price of it? I think what starting price is like 10, not $10, but market cap is like 10 million starting price. Got my one leash at $273. That is a nice entry for sure. Let's talk about This is what you mean, like buy low, sell high. You bought extremely low. That is freaking good. Roughly buying like somewhere over here. I took the God spike as a sign and got in under 300. Where to buy K9 Finance? It's going to be launching on the 7th. Excuse me. It's going to be launching on the 7th, and it's going to be on Uniswap. So they're going to drop the contract address. So that way you just have to get your Ethereum and to be able to go ahead and swipe for it. Guys, make sure you hit that like button if you have not. Currently at 37 likes. Let's see if we get to roughly 50. Got 51 people watching, I think. Look at Bone. Bone is it's still having a nice little up move, guys. $1.16. $1.16, guys. 34 million in volume. The thing is, right now it is at a resistance area because a lot of times, let me get Bone pulled up. Like between the 115, 120 mark, those well really 112 to 120, those been the area of resistance for Bone. Another area of resistance. But typically we overcome it, so and I just pointed out to you like how I was able to determine that. Like with this line, you got a dip here. It tried to breach back past it again, couldn't do it. When it finally did, it had issues like zoom in some more. Had issues here, had issues, had another issue here. So as you can see, it's this always been like an area or a sore spot for Bone. So this is why we're seeing kind of like the stall of it. But hopefully we get past that, then we could start testing really this area. $2, guys. This is when we're gonna start really rejoicing. Any exchange listing Bone soon. I would think with this volume that we're seeing, we should see some new exchange listings. Look like we've been getting a lot of burns today. Let's see, she burns. I sure appreciate it for hitting that like. So we've been seeing like constant mini burns today. Let's see. Did anybody get into the Shiboshis? Currently at $360 with a volume of 2.9 million. These are going to be super hot during the NFT craze. That's gonna be pretty interesting to see, especially if we see like $1 billion pump into this. If we see like $1 billion pump into this, like during NFT craze, then this is definitely gonna get above $10,000 a pop. I got two, so I'm eventually gonna sell one at 10 and just hold on to the other one and just see what it do. Question is, if Bone goes to 100, how much ETH do we need to have in that wallet in order to send Bone back to exchange to sell it? Is that the same as swap, like the previous guy says? Um, yeah, with swapping, it'll be just based upon that gas fee. If you're swapping it from a decentralized exchange, but if you're trying to just transfer your Bone from your wallet to like a centralized exchange, it's all based upon the gas price. Like currently, right now, the this you can see this is the gas price. The Gwei 98. So pretty much gas is pretty high right now. Click onto it. So 98 Gwei roughly could be somewhere around like $100, I think. Right now, yeah. So it all depends. So if you're gonna do it when gas is high, then you just have to go here and you'll be able to see as far as like how much gas you would need to have in your wallet. So hopefully that makes sense. I feel spring break will be crazy for crypto. I received two Shiboshis. Yes, I've always seen. Yeah, I always seem to have gas fee issues. If I want like 5K gas fee, I am going to lose my mind. Yeah, like if you're seeing 5K gas fee, then you're Gwei, because I haven't seen anything lately as far as within Ethereum network to cause the gas to be fee to be that high. But you definitely have to adjust your Gwei whenever you're trying to do like a transaction or something like that. Or better yet, if you it all, what wallet are you using? Because I find with Trust Wallet, when it comes to like swapping, they do a better job as far as like calculating the gas for you. So that way you don't have to adjust any of this, and it'll just be able to get you. Gas is still high, but it'll give you somewhat of a decent gas price. It's about to take another leg up soon. Let's take a look. 116. Let's go. Like I truly can't wait to see Bone with over 100 million in volume, guys. Because the 100 million in volume will outweigh the supply. Crazy. And keep in mind, guys, all of this is just what's to come. Like we haven't even experienced the the supply shock on Bitcoin as of yet. That's what you guys got to keep in mind. We have not seen the supply shock on Bitcoin. When that happens, all the assets, majority of the assets, I should say, they're gonna have huge run up. Because if you look at Solana or BNB, because I remember when BNB guys was in the same state as Bone. I remember this. I had BNB. Ever in a million years, I would have thought it gotten way over here. And what I had to do is just recraft like some of the assets that I was in to see, okay, how, because I owned them, but how did I miss out on such a big gain like that? And that was my whole mission coming into the bear market that just passed, coming into a bull market. What asset could replicate what I seen in BNB? Because again, I had this when BNB was nothing. And most of the time, when people had BNB, they'll automatically just swap it for something else because it was like, yeah, what is this? You know what I mean? But look at BNB now, $418 with the top of somewhere like in the sevens. I want to say, let me pull it up here. The crazy thing, it was like something just finally clicked for me. I was like, wait a minute. Let's see if I could pull up the chart. Okay, guess this will do right here. Do I think Soul will flip BNB? It did before, so it could certainly do it again. It could certainly do it again. But the thing is, BNB, I don't know if you guys noticed, it's moving silently. Not a lot of word. It's just chugging along. Trying to see, I can't find a good chart for it. But this big pop right here, not a lot of people saw it coming. But when you go back and just replay everything that happened that took place for BNB, for it to have all of this, it's like, okay, hindsight, it's super easy. Like it's 2020. But BNB got their own exchange. They already had a targeted audience, similar to what we already do. We already have a targeted audience. Those targeted audience is the sheep holders. We have over 1.3 million holders. That's an audience. So same thing with Binance, which had more than that, but you get the point. Next thing was that, hey, Binance or BNB decided that they wanted to have their own chain. First, they had their initial beacon chain, but then they created the BNB chain, consisted of smart contracts. So once they started having more pairing, because if you look at right now, like BNB, like it's probably one of the worst chain, especially if you're trying to buy meme coins. Like I was rugged so many times, like during the bear cycle, this last bear cycle with BNB coins. But if you take a look as far as like how many pools they have 1.8 million pools, guys. Crazy. But even though if they got the 1.8 million pools, what really matters is the liquidity behind it. $45 million worth of BNB onto the chain. Like I would love to see $45 million worth of bone onto the layer two. So if we do the math as far as like $45 million worth of bone, roughly at 116, that would be 38 million bone That is, I'm talking about just within the liquidity pair. Bone with USDT. If the team is able to produce something like similar to this, that definitely would impact the price of Bone drastically. Because keep in mind, if this is on the layer 2, 38 million is on the layer 2, it's not on the layer 1, so the circulating supply of it is going to be a lot less. So, yeah, $45 million worth of BNB. You also have 25 million, 22. Like these are a whole. This is a lot of money as far as being on the chain. And look at Floki. Floki with BNB. Half of this is with BNB. Half of this is with BNB. So this is still accumulating more and more BNB, getting it off of the out of the market, which allows BNB to have the price that it's currently at right now. You could do the same thing looking at Solana. If I could find it. All right here. Currently, right now, they have 175,000 pool. Again, pools, liquidity is the thing that really matters. But look at Sol. $41 million worth of Sol. Now you have with $13 million worth of liquidity, and half of that is Sol. Boink, $7 million. Half of that contains Sol. So the list goes on and on and on. And this is just essentially just putting less Sol into the open market. Then you start seeing days where it has $1 billion worth of volume. Then the price of it just continue to keep going up. Now we look at Shibarium, like we're nowhere near that as of yet. I mean, I think it is gonna eventually come. So this is why I say like I'm super excited about the liquidity of it. Because if we look at our current liquidity, Ryoshi, this is the biggest one with $202,000. Half of it, which is 100,000, is with Bone. So we don't even have like a liquidity of over $1 million on any of these. So when you're looking at the price of Bone right now, just look at it from the lens of, oh, we're gonna have a good I wouldn't even say good, we're gonna have a liquidity event. And if that is really good, because at one point in time we had over $1 billion, but that was on the ETH chain and that was mainly wrapped with Ethereum. So if we're able to get $1 billion, I mean, I'm just shooting for 50 million, but if we're able to get $1 billion worth of liquidity, and at least 40% of that is wrapped into Bone, then now the math in itself is going to make a lot more sense. Mailman said, I never bridge my Bone because all the major exchange never integrate Shibari for me to cash out. No, that's 100%. Like, you really, at this point, you really don't have uh, a real reason to, because due to the fact there's not a lot of money onto the chain. Because there's not a lot of money into the chain, then, pretty much you're the liquidity in a sense. So, but hopefully that changes though. Like we get more integration, then we get big liquidity event. So that way now, well, like yourself, you're able to come onto the chain and do whatever you want to do without worrying about liquidity. I need help. Unable to unstake in ShibaSwap. Been there since day one. Now I can't unstake. Anyone knows Android with MetaMask? You say you can't unstake it. Take a look. Like it's been a minute because I don't have nothing. Well, I think I do have some stuff staked onto it, but Are you doing like the two transaction? I think it's like two transact. Like you gotta agree to. Do you have it first? Do you have enough gas? First you gotta see if you got enough gas to be able to cover it. Then I know with unstaking, it may be two transactions that you have to approve in order for you to unstake it. So other than that, you may have to reach out to the team or something like that. It's like I missed a lot of comments here. Let's see. Uh, Despite bone price surge, why doesn't the number of holders display on EtherScan? Is it not increasing? No, it actually is increasing. Not by much, but it is increasing. Because prior to that, I want to say was at like 95.4. Yeah. So we went up like 300 because a couple people sold because this was at like 95.4. Now it's at 95.7. So we got a little increase of like 300. Nothing major, but it's an increase. If bone goes to $100, all right, so answer that. Bone hits $10, I'm gonna sell all my profit only to keep the amount I originally invested in. No, that makes sense. Got a good strategy. So you have your strategy, execute it. April 15th, is that the Bitcoin halving? Bone is gonna take another leg up here soon. I bought some Shiboshis on Lbank, but cannot withdraw it to my wallet because withdrawal isn't enabled yet. Let's go Bone. I use Tengen wallet using MetaMask. The stable coin would be helpful so we could wait for gas to lower down. Any thoughts? Left translated cycle. Is any project working on ramping from Shiba Inu directly to uh, centralized exchanges? Not any project. Not any project. But I know that there was a centralized exchange. I forgot what it's called. Yes, I did want to prove long ago. Then try doing this. Try switch and create a wallet, a different wallet to a different. You said initially you did MetaMask, so instead of doing MetaMask, try um, what's the other wallet's name? I forgot that quick. Trust Wallet. Try getting the Trust Wallet. Import your seed phrase from your MetaMask and try to unswap it that way. What's the most foolproof plan to cash out? I mean, nothing is truly foolproof in crypto. Um, so for me, my exit plan is trying to probably crypto.com. At least that's what I'm thinking, crypto.com for me. But at the end of the day, it's gonna be like a in that moment decision because I am gonna scan to see where we're at because it could change to Coinbase. I had the same problem, but it went through the other day. Uh, so it looks like Middle Journey may have some insight as far as like getting your bone or unstaking. Yeah, so don't worry about it. Says so we need to. pay gas fees to transfer bone from wallet, and pay gas fees again to cash out on the exchange. The the gas fees on the exchange is not, well, the transaction fees on the exchange, it's not that bad. But if you have Ethereum bone, yes, you do have to do it. And this is why I think if we're able to see more integration as far as the bone, so if you have your bone on the layer 2, it'll be easier to be able to just go directly from the L2 to the layer 1. But we need integration though. So really that's the big issue. Keep refreshing this, guys. I want to see bone. I want to see bone start this God candles. The Leash chart is freaking phenomenal, guys. $624. Bone, it is moving, guys. $117. Guys, it's definitely been fun rapping with you guys. I'm gonna try to go live again on Friday. Um, probably a little later. So make sure you mark your calendar, come out, and that way we could hang out and just take a look at the charts again. So I got one more question for right now. It takes a few days to take bone from L2 to L1. Would that still be an issue even if Shibarium is integrated to CX? No, it would not be an issue because that part is only reflection of that it through the bridge. If we get centralized exchange, then they're gonna have another bridge that they're creating themselves to be able to have bone going from L2 to L1. So that's not gonna be an issue because right now with other, I think it's BitGet that we have integration with, and people say it takes roughly like less than 3 minutes just to be able to get their bone out. But yeah, guys, appreciate you guys. Big shout out to Mailman. Appreciate the donations, man. So hopefully next time we do another live bone is at $2. So, but that's all I got for you today, guys. Random Art signing off. Peace.